Hi muckers, and welcome back to my second channel. Hi, it's been a minute, and by that I mean like 2 days maximum, or maybe 3 days, I don't know. I have my Red Bull here. I just went to the shop. I'm gonna crack one of these babies open because it is only 5 p.m, but I feel like it's a lot later because it is pitch black outside, because again, we are in, not winter, we're not in winter, because I found this out in a recent second channel video. If you follow along, you will know, but it's actually autumn time. It's not even winter for another like month or 2 months or something like that. But because it's dark outside, my body clock automatically is like, it's time for bed. I don't know why I just did like a Donald Trump impression there. I don't know where that came from. So we are gonna be drinking one of these. I ordered a coffee earlier and it was not my order, so I only drank a little bit of it, so I'm definitely needing a little pick-me-up, which is gonna be this. But I did just want to talk about where I've been, what has been happening. I also think I'm gonna do a Q&A, because I put on my Muckers Facebook group. If you have like any topics, any questions or whatever, hit me with them and we will talk. So I think that's what we're gonna do. But first of all, I kind of want to, love that sound, I actually want to get a straw. How Jeffree Star of me. I do want to talk about why I've been gone for a couple days, and now this has been a very, very, very stressful couple days, I'll be honest. And the reason for that is because I have animals, and the end of the year I go home for Christmas, and I need to plan what is going, on with them, and that has been consuming me a lot recently because I want to make sure that the plan makes the most sense for them. And so basically this all involves me going back home for Christmas, but I need to like equate them into the conversation. Like, it would be a lot easier if it was just me, but it's not. So even when I do trips, I can never just be like, tomorrow I'm gonna go on a trip or whatever like that. Like, I do need to put some planning in it, whether I know that I have a dog sitter available or a cat sitter available, or my friend's gonna stay in the apartment or something like that. By the way, do you remember my friend was living with me, Rachel? She moved out. By living with me, if my landlord watches this video, I literally mean she was staying with me for a couple weeks while she was waiting to get her house. Landlord, please, I wasn't breaking the contract. It's like my mother staying over. She picked up all her stuff today because she finally got a house. So she moved in today, which is exciting. I'm really excited for her. And her new place is so beautiful. And so I have been doing a lot of like heavy lifting today as well, because we were like moving all of her stuff out, and she had a lot of stuff. So that was a lot of carrying today. So I'm quite tired. So that's what this is gonna come in handy for. But I really do kind of think of the animals first over myself, because they need me to think of them first, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like the animals are thinking of themselves first or me first, whatever. So every Christmas I like, being home, and being home is in Ireland. So I always need to find a way to get the dogs or the cats looked after in some way for Christmas time. So the cats, I get looked after by one of my friends who lives in Brighton with her family during Christmas time. So the cats actually stay with her, which is great, and I fucking love her for that. She did that last Christmas too. And this Christmas is going to be the same as last Christmas, where the dogs are going back to Ireland, which is always my favorite thing ever, because we have, dogs at home in Ireland. And it's always so weird to me whenever my dogs like cross over with like my parents' dogs, like my family dogs. It's like such a surreal moment, because it's like, what are the Brighton girlies doing in Derry? You know what I mean? There's been a helicopter that's been flying really low all around our apartment block all day today. I hope everything's okay. That's normally an emergency one. That's not the helicopter I'm talking about. That's a motorbike. Someone trying to show their penis size by like vroom, vroom, vroom. But there's been a helicopter that's been very low all around the apartment block today, because we live by the ocean, so I'm hoping everyone's okay and everything's okay. You always get, such a weird feeling going over you whenever you see that, especially when it goes on all day like that, so especially with the dark nights as well. So the dogs are going back home, and I ideally wanted the dogs to be home all of December and all of January, mainly because it's a lot on their bodies to travel. So I actually have a guy who is like a licensed pet courier, and he picks them up from my door and puts them in he has like this huge van. It's like almost like a party bus, and it has like different sections for different dogs in the back. The dogs go into like a double pen, and then he takes them on the boat over to Belfast, and then one of my parents picks them up from Belfast, brings them down to Derry. I really need to get my fucking license because it will make so much of this so much easier if I can do it and not like have to have my parents doing it, because I feel bad because they work as well, and it just takes time out of their schedule. So I'm really grateful that they're doing that. But then one of my parents picks the dogs up from Belfast. It's an hour drive back to Derry, and then they're back in Derry. So I was hoping that we could, you know, do December and January, because that's 2 months. So it basically means that the day of traveling that the girls have to do, the overnight of traveling, is kind of worth it on their bodies, because they're not just in Derry for like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, and then back again. However, the guy only had availability for, oh, Mr. Tyler's joining us. Hello, baby. He's angry at me right now because I just flea treatment him, and I put flea treatment on him, and he's really angry at me. He did attack me earlier because he hates whenever I have to like separate like his fur at the back. So I'm actually surprised he's coming over to me right now, because he did attack me earlier, and Milo's so chill with it. So his only availability, whenever I messaged him, I was like, hey, do we have any availability for any of December to bring the dogs over? And he was like, no, but I have Monday. So Monday is when the dogs go, and I'm currently filming this on Saturday. So it's like a really quick turnaround, and I have a lot to do before that moment. So whenever he told me that like 2 days ago, I've just been planning everything from making sure the dogs are up to date with all their vaccines, and they're treated for everything, and getting their little travel bags ready. It's like literally like as if I'm like having like a newborn baby travel, and then getting the apartment ready, and getting my friend, you know, to, if they are available to look after the cats again, and sorting out paying, you know, my friend, and sorting out paying the dog courier. Like there's just been a lot that's been going on the past few days to get Christmas ready. So basically I will be basing myself out of Derry on Monday on for a while, because that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be flying home as well next week, and I'm going to be, it's going to be so hectic. Like filming content is going to be so bizarre as like watching it from like a viewer standpoint, and also me creating it for the next while, because I'm literally going, oh, are we good? So the dogs are barking. They're literally, I thought they were just lying in the second bedroom. I think they still are, but I think Dolly must have gotten too close to Bonnie's little toy, so she barked at her. Wow, they've lost my train of thought. But basically, from you watching it, there's going to be like a new background every week, and for me filming it, I'm going to have to find a filming setup every while. And thankfully I have this little ring light, which is going to be great. It's like this size, so I can, you know, have like decent quality footage. So how it's going to be is, I'm going to be in Derry for like a week, then I'm going to be in Brighton for like 3 days, then I'm going to be in Derry for a week, then I'm going to be in Brighton for like 4 days, then I'm going to be in, like, I'm literally just going to go back and forth, because I also want to keep on top of the apartment. And basically what I mean by that is there has been flooding in the apartment recently, because there's been really stormy weather, so I need to be here in the apartment as well. So if, you know, the windows, you know, flood, or if something happens with the weather conditions, I can be here to clean it up and be on top of it. So I'm just going to be flying back and forth from like Belfast or Derry airport to London, then to Brighton, then to London, then to Derry, then to, like, it's going to be a hectic couple months, but I'm fully ready for it. And the full reason I knew it was going to be hectic, so basing the dogs out of Derry is the best case scenario, and the cats, I would never put them through the travel, so having my friend be able to look after them is incredible, and I'm so thankful for her being able to do that. So that's the update. So that's why I've been especially not filming second channel videos. I've been barely posting main channel videos because it's been a hectic couple days, but I now have it all in motion, so it's all going ahead and everything's, you know, gonna be, you know, fine. So that's great. So just to let you know that that's what's been going on, and also we are going to be getting a lot of content like now for like the end of the year. Like I was thinking about it last night, and it's gonna be crazy. Like I have New York this day next month for the Mariah show, the 2 Mariah shows. So there's gonna be New York vlogs, which I'm so excited for. And if anyone has any recommendations of things you want to see me do, let me know. But for the first time in 2 years, my content is gonna be based out of Derry, which is gonna be so bizarre to me, because I have like a new audience that have only really, you know, joined the channel and joined the community from me living in Brighton, and that's all they know. So to be able to introduce people to like dairy vlogs again is going to be so exciting for me, and I'm really excited for it, to be able to like do the same shit that I was doing whenever my channel was only starting to get any like 3 views compared to like 1 view, you know what I mean? Like when people started watching. So that's gonna be interesting. And if anyone has been here since dairy, like you're gonna hopefully remember a couple different, you know, places that I used to film, and I'm gonna go out of my way to, for those like long time muckers, which I appreciate, I'm gonna try my best to get a little bit of nostalgia content with going back to areas I used to vlog or used to talk about, or maybe meeting up with a couple of my friends and getting them in videos. Like I'm really excited for it, and I hope people are excited for it as well. And I'm really just loving filming on my second channel because it really does just feel like talking to, I don't mean to be like that parasocial bitch, so don't take it like this, but all I'm saying is it really feels like a connection with my audience rather than my main channel, just because I can read every comment on my second channel. I can respond to every comment on my second channel because it's like a manageable amount of comments, and I really do like that, and it's like the Facebook group to me. So I'm very excited is what I'm saying, and I'm sorry for the long tangent, but I just wanted to let you know where I'm at right now. I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I know that people have been waiting for me to answer some of these topics that I put on the Facebook group. So I'm back now filming second channel videos anyway, so I may as well just answer a couple of these, and then the other things I want to talk about I can film in another video tomorrow or tonight or whatever like that. I actually have no idea what I'm doing tonight. Because my friends moved into their place, I don't know if they're just gonna stay in the house tonight or if they want to go out. And I mean like going to like a restaurant or going to a bar or something like that. I'm literally playing it by ear right now. All I know is that it's 5:20 right now, and I am just excited to sit down finally and talk to you. And if they message me later, then I'll go with the flow. But anyway, I did put on the Muckers group and I said, hello BFFs, I'm gonna film a sit down second channel video tonight. Oh, that was a day ago, I lied, sorry. So hit me with some questions. I'm just gonna go through these, right, and we're gonna talk about them, and I wanna know your opinion on them as well. So, Ariel said, experiences with friends with benefits, pros and cons, let me know. And I said, oh my god, this is such an interesting topic, because I think friends with benefits is an interesting topic that I think a lot of people have experience with. Now, have I ever had a friends with benefits? Once. That was it. I've only ever had one. And it ended in like disaster. Like it ended in disaster. And I genuinely don't think that friends with benefits works. I don't know. And I talk with my friends about this all the time, and my friends are like, no, they work, it just depends on you. I fall in love. And I'm like, I have, when it comes to relationships, like I can become like a little bit too involved in it, where then I'm like, oh my god, are we dating, are we not? And I think that is like normal whenever you're doing like a friends with benefits, because I also think that being a friends with benefits is like really like intimate in many different ways. I'm not just talking intimate, but I'm like in many different ways. And eventually, one of two things happens with me. Number one, I start getting like, well, when are we just gonna date? Because we're basically acting like we are dating. And then that person never wants to date because you're their friends with a benefit. So then I get pissed off. And then the other one is I start to feel like I'm holding myself back ever actually dating someone because I have a friends with benefits. So it doesn't work for me. And again, I've only had one. And do I want to have another one? Not right now, and I don't think I would want one for a long time. I honestly feel like I'm a relationship person. I would much rather have a relationship than a friends with benefits. And I also know the pros and cons of having a friends with benefits for a lot of people, because I speak with my friends who love them. Sometimes having a friends with benefits is amazing because you aren't ready for a relationship. That opens up its own issues. Maybe you're more focused on your career right now, which I also appreciate, and you know, you just want to have a friends with benefits and not have anything, you know, too serious. I get the pros of it, but for me, there are way too many cons in a friends with benefits than ever. And also, I'm a jealous person. I am a jealous person strictly when it comes to relationships. I have never been a jealous person when it comes to friendships, and I think that my friends would say that as well. I'm pretty like, about anything when it comes to friendships. Like, I know who I love and will root for always, and I hope that people will do that for me. But I feel like I've been done so dirty by a lot of people in immediate friend groups that I just am so, is docile the right word for it? I'm just kind of like, whatever happens, happens. But with relationships, I will kind of be like, if I have like a friends with benefits, and then I know that they're also, I don't like the idea of friends with benefits just on the basis of, I don't like the idea of, particularly me, this is just like an individual choice, sleeping with someone who I know is also sleeping with other people. And that just boils down to like, I'm so scared of like STDs and stuff like that. That's really why I like stopped fucking kissing people at the club, because I kept getting fucking mono with like the throat infection. So that's why I'm like also like a relationship person, because I would end up getting jealous or annoyed that that person is getting with other people as well, because I'd be like, I know you, but I don't know these other people you're getting with, and I don't know if they're clean, and I don't know if whatever. And it's like, I think like regularly testing yourself is so important, and all these different things. And if I'm with one person, we can both keep on top of that and have a healthy connection. But then if there's other people involved in the bubble, I think it gets, you know, I don't know those other people. And so that's basically my thing. However, I 100% don't judge people who have friends with benefits, because I've also had one myself. And it's to each their own. It's to each their own. I just kind of, my idea with it is like, I really don't care what people do in the bedroom, because it doesn't involve me. It's not my business, and that's always where I've been with it. And when me and my friends talk about this, we have open conversations about it, but we never normally judge each other. We just kind of have conversations. So that's my opinion on it, I'll be honest. Okay, next one. Someone said if you weren't an influencer, my god, I wouldn't call myself an influencer, to be honest. What line of work would you go into? My dream line of work, honestly, the older and older I get, I would love to be a primary school teacher. I would love to, there's something so innocent to me about like that first stage of your life. I don't know, like people who aren't from like the UK, if they don't call it primary school, but it's like from the age of like 4 to like 11. Those are my favorite years in school. I think they're so just innocent, and I also think it would be within my teaching capabilities to teach younger people than older people. I feel like if I was to teach like secondary school kids, like 11 to 18, they'd be way smarter than me. The older I get, the more I would love to do it. I just think because I think as well, school can be a safe space for a lot of people. And for a lot of people, it's the opposite of that. But for a lot of people, coming to school is something that they look forward to. Sometimes it's something they need. And you're really like shaping people's lives. And it's not like you are like fundamentally like making them who they're gonna be, but you're helping them provide them with like the tools that they then be able to become their own person. And I think I don't know, I think there's something, so I really would love to do it. I would like to be like an art teacher, or like my dream honestly would to be an English teacher. I always loved English in school. I always aced those exams. I always loved the English class. I always loved the like relationship I had with my English teachers right from whenever I was a child to like my last English teacher ever. I always thought that they were the teachers I got on with the most. I always thought that they were the nicest teachers. I always find the most comfort in them, and I would love to be that for someone the way those teachers were for me. So I would love that, but I'm not just meaning to put myself down, but I don't think I'm intelligent enough for that. It sounds so sad to say, but I don't think I'm smart enough for it. But then again, I'm basing that off of like whenever I was in school, and I haven't been in school for a while, and I genuinely just think that like, it's like to mark everyone's academic ability and change how they think about their intelligence for the rest of their lives is those school years. But to expect that everyone is developing mentally at the exact same time and has to do the exact same tests at the exact same times, it's not catered towards each individual person, I think is so fucked. So I have my own issues with the fucking academic system. Alright, okay, I'm gonna go to another one. A lot of people are asking how to make friends in a different state. That one's from Erin. And oh, the previous one, by the way, is from Grace. How to make friends in a different place. I think it is literally becoming a regular. Become a regular at a coffee shop. Become a regular at the library. Become a regular at the park. Become a regular. Become a regular at a place where there's workers around your age. They will eventually start talking to you. That happened whenever I started going to the coffee shop, and now I go to the bar with these people. Like, if they're around your age, I think that's kind of the best way to do it. And if you're older, then there's obviously places that older people would go to, or if you're younger, there's younger, you know what I mean? So that would be my advice. And by the way, it is possible, and there will be months where you won't have any conversation, but just know that, like, it's unpredictable and it will come, because there's also people out there like you that are also being like, how do I find friends in a different state? And they're commenting it under another YouTuber's post, and so then you two meet up, and it's like, it's my thinking about it. Alright, okay, I'm trying to find another one. Sienna said, you and your mom's relationship, were you always close? Some of us have toxic parents, and I adore the relationship you have with your mother. It's beautiful, thank you. And there's people like hearting that and agreeing with that, and I appreciate that. I think I've always had a good relationship with my parents, both of them. I think I've always been close with them, but I think once I moved, I got closer with them. And I think my parents would agree with this as well. I think because I was always close with them, like I have such similar interests with both my mom and my dad in different ways. Like my mom is like a lot of things, like 90% of each other is literally like the same opinions and stuff. And with my dad, the older I get, the more I relate to him in so many things, or maybe that I didn't whenever I was younger. And and they always, like, we always grew up in, like, I'm very lucky to have always grown up in like a healthy environment, and I would say that they did a good job to always ensure that we always felt like seen or heard, or if we didn't agree with something, you know, they had to say, we always talked it out. And I think that that was the goal mine. Like, there's like, so in terms of like my family as a whole, like extended family, I know for a fact that like there's like people within my like outer circle of like family, like cousins, or, you know, like stuff, you know, like that extended part. I know that their relationship with their parents is a bit different, and it's more so formal. And I think the good thing is, and I would love to raise my kids the same way my parents did with me, it was never like formal. Like, they would give off to us if we were doing something wrong, they would put us in our fucking place, they would whatever, but it was never like we didn't have a voice. Instead of, I know that like other family members I have, because they've spoken to me about it, you know, it always was like, you're the child and the parent will always say the final thing. And that's common for a lot of family dynamics. But we were always allowed to, you know, healthily like argue with our parents, like our opinions, or if we disagreed on something, and we'd always come to like a general opinion together. And I think always feeling like I had a voice with my parents made me look at them more so like people I wanted to be around rather than people I resented being around, and I'm very grateful for that. And I also think, like I said, once I moved out, I wanted to hang out with my parents more, and I wanted to include them more in my hobbies. And I remember my parents were reluctant at the idea of me moving out, and they thought I was making a mistake. I know for a fact my father messages me like every single week being like, do you think you moved out too soon, or whatever like that. I did move out very early, but the reason for that was because I needed my own space to like miss my parents, you know what I mean? Like, I needed to miss them to like love them even more. And I think that's very apparent. Like, if I was still living in my childhood house, me and my mom would not go on trips together because I would see her every day. And then we experience so much when we go on the trips, and then we have so many stories. Or my dad, whenever we do things, like, you know, or my dad comes over here, we have more to talk about rather than if I was just in the house. So I did know what I was doing whenever I was moving out. I did think about all these things, and I had watched so many videos being like, moving out at 18 or whatever like that. And one of the main things was like, if, you know, you've had a nice relationship with your parents, you will grow to love them even more. And I'm so lucky to say this, because this is not everyone's relationship with their parents, and it's so complex. I know so many of my friends that have opened up to me about their family dynamic, and, you know, I really do appreciate hearing different like family dynamics and stuff. And yeah, I would say that I've always been close to my mom, and I've always been close to my dad. And the same way with my brothers. I have two older brothers. Like, I got closer with them once I moved out as well. Like, me and my brothers used to like argue all the time. And like, so I have two brothers. I have I'm the youngest, there's a middle, and there's an oldest. I used to argue with the middle all the time. We used to never get on. ever. And it was never like toxic, but we just didn't, like, we would just always like brotherly argue, brotherly fight. And once I moved out, once he moved out, our relationship now is like, we're like extremely close, and we would go on trips together now, and we would have an amazing time on trips, and we get on so much, and we, you know, call for like hours, which we would have never done before. But it was like, when we're not living on top of each other, you live life on your own. And I think, so yeah, I would say so. And that's a good question. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sienna. There's a lot here. I appreciate this. Hollywood / influencer perception versus reality, Sandy said. Well, I'm not even talking about LA. I'm talking about celebrities. I feel that the idea of celebrity is gone for me now. And it's weird. It's weird. I love Mariah Carey. Once I saw Mariah Carey, like, I didn't meet Mariah Carey, but like she like walked in front of me and like briefly like said something to me and whatever. Once I saw Mariah Carey that close, it was like she wasn't like on such a high pedestal anymore. When I met Selena Gomez, I was like, oh, you're just like a normal person. She wasn't on a pedestal for me anymore. And when I met Rina Sawayama, I was like, oh, you're just like a regular person. And I'm trying to think of other examples. Bonnie Tyler, wow, you're just a regular woman. And that's not taking away from any of their talents. By regular person, I mean just like me or you, like a regular person. And the idea of celebrity definitely changed once I started meeting these people. And you always hear, don't meet your idols. I disagree with that. I think you can meet your idols, and I think you start to have a more healthy relationship with them. I think I have a much healthier relationship with like the likes of like Selena Gomez after meeting her. You know, she will not remember who I am, but I took so much from that moment that I now look at Selena Gomez less of like a obsessed and more so like a I love this woman. Bonnie Tyler, it went from obsession to I love this woman. Seeing Mariah Carey, it went from obsessed to I love this woman. And it almost makes me value them and their talents more rather than the idea of celebrity. So that is kind of it for me. And I know that when I did the New York Muckers meetup, I'm not a celebrity, I'm not an influencer, I just upload videos on YouTube. I'm not saying that to be like, I'm saying that because call a spade a spade. I'm not gonna say the name of who it was because maybe they don't want to, you know, be put out there, but basically we had this huge group at Central Park and I was so thankful for it, and we were all taking pictures individually and we were walking to coffee, and in the walk, or right before it, I can't remember, one of the girls pulled me aside and was like, I can't, and this girl was so sweet, and she was like, I can't believe like I'm like here face to face talking with you. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I feel that like there was like a disconnect to me to like knowing that you were a real person, watching your videos every single day, and seeing you in person is like a really weird moment. And I never really understood it. I never really did until I saw Mariah on that same trip, where it was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I've only ever like seen Mariah Carey like in interviews or in photo shoots or concerts or whatever like that, and like when someone's like right in front of you and like walking the same way I would walk and like acting like a normal person, it's like, it's such a surreal moment. And I 100% got it in that moment, and I actually appreciated that. And I was like, well, it's so lovely to like talk with you, and it's so lovely to be face to face with you. And that was definitely a very surreal day. I've done a couple meetups here and there on YouTube, but I think that Central Park one was definitely my favorite one, because it just was like meeting up with your extended friends. And again, I understand parasocial relationships. I never want to knowingly feed into one, but all I'm gonna say is like, I also want to acknowledge the fact that like, if you're commenting on my videos all the time, if I'm responding to your comments all the time, if you're watching my videos and we know what we're, you know, similarly talking about, when we meet up on the street, we can talk about all those things because it's almost like we've had like year-long conversations. So whenever I met up with these people in New York, we didn't have to like do icebreakers, or we didn't have to do whatever. We just got straight into the conversation, and the people that are there will know that. We sat down and we immediately just got into fucking shit talking. Like, that was how it was, and that's why I was able to, I remember one of the girls was so sweet and was like, I thought that this was going to be, we show up, we take a picture, you say thanks, and we leave. And I was like, no, because we can actually talk about things. We have similar interests, and that's what it boils down to. And I think that that's what's great about building like a niche community on YouTube. And I really appreciated that. And that meetup, that was on my birthday, that lasted from, I think, what, 12 p.m. until, correct me if I'm wrong to the people that were there, but what, like, I actually don't know when it lasted from. But it was a good few hours. 2 hours, 3 hours. A couple hours of that were just sitting down talking, and then like an hour of it was like walking in. I got everyone coffee, like, and then we were talking then, and then we all got the subway back to like our hotels and stuff, like, or well, they're like houses. You know what I mean? So my perception of Hollywood and celebrity, I don't think I have one anymore. Like, even if I love someone now, like if I think about, if I was to see, I'm looking up here and I'm seeing a poster of Madonna. If I was to see Madonna in person, I'd be like, oh my god, there's Madonna. And then it would leave, because Madonna would be in front of me. And I feel that like, that's what changed to me. I look at people like actual people now instead of like an almighty. And it doesn't mean I love any of them less, because I said it almost means that I love them more because I can actually appreciate them more for like what they're famous for rather than the idea of them being famous, if that makes any sense. Maybe none of that made sense. So we'll get to a couple more. These are actually really good. If anyone has any other ones, make sure to leave them down below as well, or in the group chat on Facebook. Let me see. A lot of people are talking about, and I appreciate it, but a lot of people are talking about like the YouTubers we talk about, and I'm trying not to do that because I know that people come over here for non-drama videos. And maybe if you want a video like this on this channel, we can do that, but yeah, there's a lot of questions like that. Oh, okay, wait, I will answer this one though. Someone said, Alyssa said, has anyone tried to message you personally to remove your drama videos? No, not anyone except for that Nick Gabby Hannah person. No one did. No one did. And I think the reason for that is because I'm not stupid. Let's get that out of the way. So whenever I'm filming a YouTube video, I know what I can and can't say. I know when is too far and when's not too far. And I look back on some of my videos from 2020, 2021. First of all, I'm like screaming in all of those videos. I saw one pop up like 3 days ago and I watched it and I had to turn it off. I don't know how anyone fucking watched my videos. It was so fucking loud and so irritating. And the worst part about it is, people always used to say like, he's putting that on, he's putting that on. And I remember in the moment being like, I'm putting what on? But whenever I watch them now, oh my god, it seems like I'm putting, you know, a big show and dance on. But I was just, that's how I was on camera. And I think doing it for 2 years now, I've just mellowed out. And fuck me, it was needed. I can't believe anyone watched those videos. But yeah, I watched some of my 2020 videos back and I'm like, wow, maybe I was too mean here. Maybe I pushed, you know, the boat too far here. Like maybe these kind of things. But I've learned that in moving forward. And I think as well, like the older I get, the more I'm able to put things into perspective that I talk about online. But no, no one's really messaged me to delete them. I'll just be fucking frank about it. He's being really cute right now. Hi. Hi. Look at your paw. Hello, little boy. Oh, he's stuck on the thing. Do you want to come over? I seriously thought this cat would never love me again after I put that flea treatment on him. Hi. Oh, you're so hard to tell what you're going to do next. Is he going to bite me? Is he going to lick me? Is he going to lie down on me? Or is he going to attack me? Time will tell. Time will tell. Oh. Hi. Are you considering it? Do you think I'm going to put another flea treatment? It's not even traumatic putting a flea treatment on him. He just was so pissed off at me for no reason today. I have no idea why he was doing it. The last thing I do want to say is, now that the dogs will be in Derry for the next like 2 months or something like that, is there anywhere that people think would be good to go for a couple days to like vlog? Like, you know, I always go to Paris, which I love Paris, and I would love to go back again after I find like those like underground jazz places. But is there like anywhere that you, within Europe, please, like let's be cost efficient here, because I could, you know, do a Europe trip for cheap. Is there anywhere that like screams out that you would love me to go and vlog? And of course it would all be very new to me because I haven't been to these places, like Amsterdam, Copenhagen, maybe different parts of France, maybe like Spain, maybe. I want to know like where people like would like for me to like go and watch. So please let me know that down below. Oh, you're being really cute. Are you okay now? Have you forgiven me? Have you forgiven me? I actually saw a little kitten photo of him today, and it made me nearly want to cry because I like will forget that they were like kittens at a time. Hi. Aww. Are you okay now? Are we friends again? Isn't this bell so cute right here? So cute. Are we friends again? I think we're friends again. But I'm gonna end off this video right now because I'm gonna go and film main channel videos. But I enjoyed sitting down and talking with y'all. Hi. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you being here, and I've missed you, and we're back in business now. I just need a few days to do adult things. Not sexual, but like adult things. It sounds weird when I say that. Anyway, I love you and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.